Alright, what's up everyone? This is NinjaDeathStrike bringing you another Pokemon TCGO battle and another new deck this time. This is kind of a gimmicky deck. It's not one that I play with very often. In fact, I've only used this one on one day, the day that I took this battle, but it's a variant of the deck that took second place at Worlds last year, and that's a deck that relies on Vileplume and Reuniclus to move damage around and basically lock your opponent out of a win. So I'm going to scout out my opponent here. Looks like he's probably pretty new, only has a few hundred cards and about 25 wins, so this should be a pretty easy match. And unfortunately for me, I get just a single Solosis up there. He's only got 30 hit points, so he's very vulnerable to being knocked out on the first turn, or I could end up losing right away. So my opponent's going to open with a couple of Snivy, and whatever that active is, I'm not actually sure what that card is, some fire type. Must be Magby. So he goes for the burn right away, and gets the burn. Luckily I don't take damage from it, and now I'm going to go ahead and use my collector to get my bench set up. Gonna grab Solosis, and Oddish, and Chubchu. So I probably should have got two Oddish here, but looking at the amount of cards that he has, I'm gonna just guess that he probably doesn't have a catcher, and only get the one Oddish, hoping that it'll be safe. So kind of a misplay on my part. I should always play my best, but luckily I don't think that factors in here. And I do have Gloom and Vileplume in my hand, so I'll be able to get a fairly early trainer lockup. Gonna go ahead and put an energy on Cubchoo because I don't care about that Solos is out there dying. Basically, it's just fodder. I can't do anything with it. It's just there to take a couple hits maybe before I have to send out something that I actually want to use. So I get another lucky flip. Don't take it burn damage this time. He stays asleep, so he can't retreat. So that's nice for me. And I'm going to pull up a Chansey here. Go ahead and put that on the bench since I might need Blissey later. I believe I've had another video that showcases what Blissey Prime can do. So now I'm going to P-Calm. You see that half of a legend there? That's Suicune Entei legend. I only had one at this point, so I'm running mainly Beartic with Suicune Entei as a possible attacker as well. Going to go ahead and P-Calm it away though, get my Beartic, and Beartic is all set up now. Or mostly set up, at least to use the attack that's important here. Beartic from the Emerging Powers set has an attack called Sheer Cold, and it does 50 damage for 1 water and 2 colorless. And on the next turn, the defending Pokemon can't attack at all. So that's really cool because it basically forces them to retreat or play a switch if they want to get a turn to attack at all. And since Vileplume prevents the use of switch thanks to the trainer lock, it means that they're stuck out there unless they pay the retreat cost. So on this turn I could have evolved into Vileplume, but I don't want to lock myself out of trainers yet because I like to get up a Reuniclus before I do that. So I'm going to hold off a turn evolving into Vileplume. I'm not really threatened yet, and so I feel safe not getting the trainer lock on as fast as I could. And he's going to keep building up that Snivy, or I guess it's a Servine now, on his bench. He's going to put some energy on both of them. And so that's going to mean that they're going to be able to attack. I don't know why he doesn't just retreat and take me out with one of them, but, you know, whatever. I'm going to finally go ahead and just retreat this Solosis. If he's not going to kill it, you know, it's another chance for me to get Reuniclus up. So that's good, and now I'm going to take out the Magby with a Sheer Cold. So draw my first prize, pull Reuniclus, which is amazing. I only run 2 in this deck, and since I have that rare candy, it means that I will be able to get both Reuniclus and Vileplume up next round. That's going to initiate the trainer lock and to let me move my damage around. So that's going to be really nice. He's going to get a Serperior this turn, and that's going to be a big problem for me because this deck kind of relies on forcing your opponent to pay a bunch of energy to retreat, but Serperior doesn't have a retreat cost. So every time I use Sheer Cold, he's just going to be able to switch out to something else and avoid the attack that way. He's still going to take damage, but he won't have to pay all that energy and burn all that energy to retreat. So that's going to be a little bit annoying here, and it's going to throw kind of a wrench into my plans for this deck, since it relies on forcing your opponent to waste all that energy, and now he's not going to have to. And I think he's just got a second Serperior here. It's either Serperior or Servine, so he's going to put an energy on it and then take it back, I guess, thinking about if that's what he wants to do. And now he's going to use an attack that lets him heal. I don't know what that was. Maybe he's got an ability. I don't think that's the ability Serperior. He heals himself though, and anyhow, I'm going to get up both of my main guys, so my deck's running strong now. I'm going to grab Juniper so I can ditch that extra Vileplume, get a whole new hand, and since Sheer Cold's not going to do anything, I'm going to go ahead and put a second Water Energy onto Beartic, and that's going to let me use his other attack, Icicle Crash, which does 80 damage and isn't affected by resistance, so that's the way to go here. Since he can retreat for free anyhow, Sheer Cold is going to be a wasted turn. So now Chikorita comes down on the bench, and he's going to go ahead and evolve into Serperior number 2. And so now he's got 2 Serperiors. He can just switch in and out of them freely. Neither of them have a retreat cost. And that's why he healed damage. Leaf Storm on this Serperior lets you heal 20 damage from all your grass Pokemon. That's what happened. I thought it was the Leaf Tornado, but that's on the other one. So not only is he going to be able to retreat every time, he's also going to be able to heal 20 damage from all of his grass guys every turn. So that's going to make my deck strategy really weak, because I'm not going to be able to lock him out like I want to. So I'm going to grab Blissey here just so that I'll have her when I need her. I can only store up so much damage on my bench before I have to have a way to get it off. So Blissey will give me a way to clear my side of the field of damage when I need to. I'm going to start using Reuniclus to just stack up that damage. Looking at his deck, it doesn't look like he has a sniper, so I don't have to worry about keeping damage off the bench. I can just go ahead and bring everyone to within 10 hit points of being knocked out and be safe. And I can do 80 damage per turn, so eventually I should be able to just overload the damage on these 2 Serperiors, where one of them is going to end up going down just because they can't heal off the damage as fast as I can put it on there. You see, he's switching out every turn, which is a really smart play because it lets him take more damage than he would be able to normally, since he can switch out, heal for 20, and then switch back into the other one. So that's a really good plan on his part, and a good way to force me to find a way to clear my bench if I want to win. Otherwise, he's just going to be able to overload my side of the field with damage to the point where I can't get it off. So I'm going to hit him again with Icicle Crash. Serperior looks like it's in range where another one is going to take it out, and I don't think he's going to be able to heal off enough damage to save it in these next couple of turns. So he's going to go ahead and switch out again, use Leaf Storm, heal up. He's now at 40 and I believe 60 on his 2 Serperiors, so I'm going to fall just shy of a knockout with this Icicle Crash. I can do a 80, which will be 120. Serperior has 130 hit points, so I'm not quite going to be able to knock him out, and that means he's going to get another round of healing in. Luckily for me, I play down Blissey Prime, remove all of the damage on my side of the field, which is really bad for him. And you can see, if you look at my hand, I have that Seeker in my hand too, so I'm going to be able to play that down once Blissey gets full damage and then repeat the whole cycle again. So I've got the ability to clear massive amounts of damage off of my field, and the most it looks like he can do is 60. That's just not going to be enough, fast enough to pose a threat. And now I draw my second Seeker, so there's really almost no way he can actually deal enough damage to take 6 prizes with the amount of time that's left, but he's still going to try. He's going to throw in Togepi there just as a sacrifice so that he can get another turn. In comes Chikorita. I think he's going to evolve it here as well. into Bayleaf. He's basically just trying to stall until he finds a way to heal up his Serperiors, since neither of them can take another hit from Icicle Crash, even if he manages to heal with his attack. So I'm going to go ahead and put down my second Cubchoo. I was thinking about looking for Entei Suicune, but instead I just decided Cubchoo will do. It gives me more places to put damage from my bench, so that'll be nice. Right now, though, I'm just going to load my damage up on Blissey. Since I have the Seeker, once Blissey gets to 120 damage, I can use Seeker to pick it up and erase that damage, and then it'll give me a way to wipe my bench again next time I play it down. So he doesn't evolve Chikorita. I just take it out with an Icicle Crash. Now we've got a Togetic. Has 80 hit points, so evolving it is not going to help it survive, but if he attaches an energy, which he does, and uses his attack, Chase Up, it lets him search his deck for any card he wants and put it into his hand. That's a really nice utility attack. Since he can't do damage, it's probably his best bet right now. I draw into a Duosin, so I'm going to be able to get up a second Reuniclus. Not that it really matters, but again, it's just more hit points to move damage onto. So to help at this point, draw up a DCE. That means that I'll be able to get Cubchoo number 2 all ready to go on this next turn, and if I happen to draw into a Beartic, I can get a second one of those up as well. So now Serperior comes back in. Excuse me. Serperior comes back in. I guess he picked that Smeargle with Togetic's attack. I'm not entirely sure why he would get that, or maybe he just got the Oak so he could refresh his hand. Anyhow, now he's going to put down a bunch of other stuff, but none of it really matters. Really, the only two things on his side of the field that are going to do anything are going to be those two Serperiors. And personally, if it was me at this point, I just would have scooped, because I'm completely set up. He can only do 60 damage, so there's no way he's going to be able to come out of this, but he just keeps trying to get something going. I mean, not even get something going, just to survive. Like, this match was, I think, almost 45 minutes total, and it's as you can see, it's not that close of a match. Like, I'm clearly in complete control of this match, but he's just not willing to quit. So I guess, I mean, that's good for him. I understand trying to stay in even when it looks like you're down, but there gets to be a certain point where it's just kind of a waste of your time to stay in. And when it's something like this, I'd have to say that's the case, because really, what can he do to win? Nothing. He can't use a catcher. He can't, he has no way to get my bench guys into the active spot, and no way to one-hit KO this Beartic. There's literally nothing that his deck can do to beat mine. So I don't know why he insisted on playing this out, but, whatever. That was his choice, so at least he didn't disconnect or rage quit. But now he's going to play a Professor Elm, get his Cinccino, do the wave. That'll be able to hit me for up to 100 damage, but even that much damage is not going to be enough, since Beartic has 130 hit points. Unless he can one-hit KO me, I'm just going to be able to move all the damage off using Reuniclus and then heal it up with Blissey. So I take out the Tropius with an Icicle Crash. Now I only need one more prize. He's got those two Serperior left, and I believe the Smeargle. He hasn't played down Cinccino yet, but that'll be coming the next turn. And I think at this point, everything's in a range where I'll be able to KO it on the next turn. So unless he gets like a potion or max potion or something like that, he's not going to be able to heal up fast enough to save him another turn. So now he's going to play Interviewer's Questions. For what reason, I don't know. I mean, energy is not going to help him here. He needs something that's going to let him do damage. But he gets 3 energies, including a rescue, puts Chikorita down on his bench. And, at this point, I was kind of just annoyed, because now he's just stalling for time. There's no way he can win. He can't do anything to me. He's just playing down all these guys, attaching this energy, using these Poke Powers, and it's all pointless. Like, yeah, it's doing stuff, but nothing that's helpful. He hasn't gotten close to taking a prize yet. So, I was just ready for the match to end at this point. Just basically, I think I was watching TV or doing something else. Now I didn't even have to think about the game anymore. It was won quite a few turns ago. So he's gonna go back into Serperior, heal again. That puts this Serperior into a range where I won't be able to take it out this turn. So I'm gonna have to move all this damage with Beartic and then hit it. And then next turn, the other one's gonna be able to come in, and once it heals, it won't be able to be taken out with another attack either. So it looks like I'm at least 3 turns out from being able to take my last prize, and not even because I'm not sure what's going to happen, just because he's stalling. So I go ahead and hit it. This current Serperior is now at 100 damage, so he can't heal off enough to let him survive another. He's going to evolve into Bayleaf, and if I'm right, I think he even switches into Bayleaf just because it has enough hit points to the point that I can't one-hit KO it. He either goes into Bayleaf or Cinccino here, and he puts a rescue energy on Cinccino, so he's going to try to attack, looks like. And he knows that I can't take out Cinccino in 1 turn, so that's going to buy him 1 more turn of, whatever, losing. Not going to buy him a chance to do anything, but it's going to keep me from winning for at least 1 more turn. And if you look up there in the corner at the game clock, each player has 20 minutes of active time. Your clock ticks anytime you take an action, so he's used 19 of his minutes. He's only got a minute left, and that's pretty impressive because as you saw if you watched any of the Gothitelle videos with Reuniclus, Reuniclus's Poke Power takes forever to freaking use, and I've only eaten up 12 minutes. I have the slowest deck in the game, and he doesn't even have that much to think about. He's taken 19, so I think he was just basically stalling me for as much time as he could, just hoping that I would concede, or I don't know, hoping for something, because there's no way it should take you 20 minutes to play a deck, especially not one as simple as this, as his. I mean, you get up Serperior, you heal your guys, that's all there is to it, but he'd take forever between his moves. Now he's going to evolve into Meganium Prime, so if that thing comes in, I'm going to have to spend 2 turns taking it out. So, he's got so much crap on his bench, crap that can't do anything. Look, now he's going to retreat. He's not even going to bother attack. He's going to retreat, send out Meganium just to stall some more. Like, seriously, guy? Ugh. Anyhow, he's only got 5 seconds left, and he's thinking about what he's going to do now. He could have saved and ended his turn, but now he runs out of time. TCGO has this weird tick where even if you run out of time, you don't automatically lose, but he finally concedes 20 minutes in, and I get the win. So that was not exactly how this deck was supposed to work. It was a very long, drawn-out match. I mean, I guess the core worked with Reuniclus and Vileplume locking him down, but Beartic didn't work out too well since, as you could see, anything with a free retreat cost kind of ruins the point of it. And with things like Yanmega running around and Mew, that happens pretty often. On top of that, Zoroark with Foul Play just completely destroys Beartic since it turns his own sheer cold attack against him. So as far as the Reuniclus Vileplume deck goes, it's definitely a solid deck. It's slow, but I mean, you can come down being down, 4 or 5 prizes, and as soon as you get that lockdown, you can come back and win it if you have the right card. But I really don't think Beartic is that card. The Donphan was a much better choice. That was the one that was played in Worlds. I've also tried it with Steelix, but there's way too many Fire-type decks running around right now, and Steelix just gets roasted by those. So anyhow, it is a fun deck to play. It's a little bit slow, and it doesn't make for the most engaging videos, since once the lock is down, it's basically game over. But I did want to take one video with it just because I wanted to have some fun with Beartic. So stay tuned, guys. I will have another episode of the tutorial coming in a day or two, and then another Wi-Fi battle with my Rain team coming this weekend. So good stuff coming your way. Stay tuned, guys. Thanks.